professional, right? You authorized the submission.
Yes, sir.
We got them today. I think they were circulated to the board. What has to happen, I don't know if you had communications with Mr. Manguso's office or not, but we're going to carry the hearing. You're going to have to send new notices because it prompted additional variances, but we will hold the original submission, the application date. So assuming you're going to waive time constraints to allow us to adjourn it, I believe the next available date is September 17th of 2025. So assuming your professional is available, you want to take that date.
Yes, sir.
The board will announce it tonight and consider moving it to September 17th with the understanding that you will send new notices addressing the new variances. Collier's, our engineering department, has to review it like they did the last one. So
Got it.
assuming we can get it done in that time frame, you're cutting it kind of close. But they're on it already? Yeah. Okay. We'll be good. And that everything I said was accurate, right? You're in agreement with that?
Yes. So
Okay.
if I understand it correctly, I have to send certified mail to the 200 list again? Is that what
Yes,
you're saying?
with the new information.
new-
The notice would be adjusted subject to the additional. You'll probably have an additional side yard setback variance specifically.
Yes, sir.
Because you're bringing the structure, as I understand it. We're not talking substantively tonight.
Yes, sir.
But it's going further into that area, so that neighbors need to be aware of that. I don't think any neighbors were here the last time, but still, it required by law to make sure they understand the notice. They may
sir.
not come, or they may come. They have the right to come.
Sure.
But it will be September 17th. If it changes, that's fine too. We'll just get a new date. I don't think we need to appear on the 17th to change it. We're targeting the 17th, we'll put you on the calendar for that, subject to that new notice.
Yes, sir.
And work, obviously, in conjunction with Mr. Manguso's office.
May I have a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting in calendar number 3457. Applicant will have to renotice. The meeting will be adjourned and continued. We'll have a continued reading on September the 17th.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, as you just said, calendar number 3457, Muhammad Ali Hussein, address is 764 Lehigh Avenue, block number is 509, lot 21, convert garage into bedroom and park in front of living space. Like council discussed, applicant, you must renotice. Next available date is September 17, 2025.
Second motion?
Roll call.
Ms. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Bentavegana?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McNeil? Mr. Graves? Mr. Champy?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Hussein. Our next order of business is calendar number 3460, Botera Union LLC. Location is 2290 Route 22 East, Block 3202, Lot 17, and it would be for new signage. Mr. Paparo, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay.
Good evening, Chairman, board members, Joe Paparo, Porzio, Bromberg, and Newman. On behalf of the applicant, Botera Union LLC, this application involves the existing retail cannabis location at 2290 Route 22 East. That's Block 3202, Lot 17 on the Township of Union tax map. Just as a really brief overview before we call our witnesses, this is an application regarding a sign variance. The cannabis location was approved by this board in 2023. The site is located in your CC zone where cannabis retail is conditionally permitted. In 2023, we appeared before the board, obtained the conditional use variance and associated site plan relief. Post-approval, the store was opened in 2024 and has been operating. We're here before you this evening for a request for a freestanding sign for the business. There are 3 variances associated with that sign, which our professionals will discuss. Again, this, I'm sure the board's well familiar. This is a store that's located in an existing shopping center on 22 East. For witnesses, I'd like to begin with a representative of the operator to come forward and explain how business is going since they opened in April of 2024, the need for the proposed sign, and then we would have our professional planner and engineer who prepared the variance plan that was submitted to you to discuss those 3 variances that are attributed to the new sign. Mr. Pensul, I don't know if you need to mark anything.
Yeah, for the record, the council and for the board members' benefit, I marked A1, the application for the sign variances as it was submitted, and A2 is the three-page Harbor Consultants, Inc. Plan addressing tonight's presentation. As Mr. Paparo referenced, this was subject to approval by this board. I didn't realize it was 2023 already, but some time ago. So we're not really addressing the use tonight. This is limited to the issues of the bulk criteria involved with the signage. So
Thank you. Mr.
A1 and A2 for the record. Can I ask the witness, is the witness up here? Or?
Not yet. I'll bring him up. Om Patel?
Just for the record, if you could swear or affirm that any testimony you're providing this evening is the truth and the whole truth.
It is.
And speak into the mic, you got to lean over so that we can hear you.
Yes, it is.
And for the record, state and spell your name with your official affiliation with the applicant.
Om Patel, O-M-P-A-T-E-L, Operations Manager.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. Maybe you can adjust that, Mike?
Can you hear me?
That's better, yeah.
All
Can you
right.
spell it again, please?
O-M, first name, last name, Patel, P-A-T-E-L, Operations Manager.
Thank you.
Mr. Patel, you are an authorized representative of Botera Union LLC, correct?
Yes.
Can you provide the board and the public with your position with the company?
Operations Manager, overseeing compliance, finances, overall daily operations of the establishment.
I mentioned in my overview that this board approved the retail cannabis location in 2023, and the store opened for business in April 2024. Is that correct?
Correct.
We are here tonight for a sign for the business. Can you explain to the board and the public how business is going, some of the operational issues that you've identified that you feel could be addressed adequately with the new signage?
Sure. So first and foremost, we've been in business for about over a year now. Business is going well. You know, we're growing, but we are seeing stiffening competition. As you know, 22 is pretty much, there's a stretch of about 2 to 3 miles with, 3 to 4, at least 5 dispensaries. And we've seen that, competition is getting a little bit more stiff. So just to address that fact, to be competitive in the industry, that's one aspect, and the other aspect would be just public safety. Our customers have noticed that it's hard for them to even notice that we're in existence, and they're having a hard time just pulling into the facility because it's you can't see it, and by the time they do see it, they're pretty much at the entrance of the driveway, and it's hard for them to turn in because if they're on the left lane, it's hard for them to veer all the way to the right lane to get into the facility. So there's two kind of aspects: competitive and then public safety.
As an operator of this business, you've received complaints from your customers?
Yes, we have. At least, when we were first getting started, at least 3 to 4 a week. Over time, customers getting knowing, but we still see customers come in and say, "Hey, we don't even know you were here."
And I mentioned that this store, and I'm sure the board recalls, this store is part of a shopping center, correct?
Correct.
And there's a number of tenants in that shopping center.
Yes, I think there's 7.
Okay, and currently you have one panel on the multi-tenant freestanding sign, correct?
Yes.
And that's among the other 7 tenants.
Correct.
You mentioned that there are other competitors or other operating cannabis dispensaries on Route 22. Are you familiar with any of their signage, just generally?
Yeah, so AYR is one of them. They have a freestanding sign, just one big sign, just displaying their business. And then I think there's a new dispensary, I don't know if they're open yet, called Best Buds. Again, similar. They have a freestanding sign, just displaying their business.
No,
But,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, it's large and conspicuous.
So I know we have Mr. Gallerano, the planner, who will come up and give more detailed technical testimony, but in your opinion, do you feel what you're proposing is consistent with the other businesses in the area?
Yes, very similar.
Chairman, board members, I have nothing further on direct for Mr. Patel.
Are there any board members that would like to question the testimony that Mr. Patel has given? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to question Mr. Patel? Hearing none, Counselor, your next witness.
Great, thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Patel. Our next and final witness is Anthony Gallerano from Harbor Consultants, civil engineer and professional planner. Mr. Gallerano and his office prepared the variance plan before you this evening.
Can I ask the witness to swear or affirm that any testimony you provide this evening will be the truth and the whole truth?
Yes, I will.
And for the record, could you state and spell your name with your affiliation?
Sure. It's Anthony Gallerano, Gallerano, with the firm of Harbor Consultants. We're located at 320 North Avenue East in Cranford.
Mr. Gallerano, for the board and the public, your education, area of expertise, and the licenses you hold.
Sure. I have a Bachelor of Science degree from the New Jersey Institute of Technology. Graduated in 1984 in civil engineering. I've been licensed as a professional planner and professional
The
engineer.
board will accept his credentials.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Gallerano, before you give any testimony, I know you have a number of exhibits. Why don't we bring those up on the screen? We're going to pick up with A3 for your first exhibit. And before you provide any testimony, if you could just identify it for the record.
Okay, here we go. So the exhibits, you want to go through the exhibits? First? Yeah.
Your first one we'll call A3. Is that
Okay.
the aerial?
First one is an aerial exhibit.
I don't. Did you bring a hard copy?
I did not bring a hard copy.
I'll email them. Yep.
So this is the aerial exhibit taken from Google Maps, and we've highlighted the property in red. This is a strip mall, sits on a 1.34 acre site. It's located on the eastbound side of Route 22 on the right side. To the rear or to the south is the Point condominiums. Directly across the street to the north is the Chick-fil-A, the Qdoba, as you can see, the ship. Directly to the west is the Burger King, and then to the east is Ball Avenue, and then across is another little small strip center. This site is accessed basically through the two primary entrances are right off of Route 22. Interestingly, the entrance is on the far side. So as you're heading eastbound, you pass the exit and then you enter on the far driveway, circle, and then you would exit on the westerly side. There's also an additional curb cut out to Ball Avenue. The site contains several tenants. One of the more noticeable ones is the Wingstop. That's to the west, really on the west side of the building, right on the corner. The Botera dispensary is more to the east. It's somewhere around here. It's like the second store in from the end. So what the applicant, as you mentioned, he operates the Botera dispensary. This was, Mr. Paparo pointed out, this was previously granted a D3 conditional use variance. Dispensaries are a conditional use in the CC corridor commercial zone. Because of the proximity to the point, this required a D3 variance. Dispensary is required to be 1,500 feet from a residential use. So, however, that was granted. So with there is one existing sign. I'm going to switch to the site plan. This is unaltered. This was basically what you see is what was submitted to the board. Again, no alterations. I just wanted to zoom in. So currently, the existing sign is right about this location here that I'm circling. That's about 2/3 from the beginning of the property or from the westerly property line. The sign the applicant is proposing is further to the west, which is right in this location. Again, it will be located in a grass island, so there's no alteration to the parking lot that needs to be performed in order to accommodate that. Just pan. So down in the lower left-hand corner, there's the sign detail. And so this is going to be a freestanding sign. There's going to be two panels, two sign panels. The primary sign panel is 10 foot wide by 5 foot high and 50 square feet. It's 20 feet from the grade to the top of the sign and 14 feet from, 15 feet from the grade to the bottom of the sign. And that's conforming, dimensionally conforming to the ordinance. The variance here is triggered because under your ordinance, you're only allowed one freestanding sign in the CC zone on a property that has a frontage of 300 feet or greater. So this property qualifies for one sign, and they have that sign there. Now there is one sign, so the second sign would trigger a C variance. Also proposed are just two small directional signs, which would be at the entrance and the exit. The owner has mentioned that some of his clients sometimes get confused as to which way to enter and leave, so we think this would help with the traffic circulation. I also have a detail, a color detail. So this is something new. This was not submitted with the application.
So we'll mark the colored rendering of the sign as Exhibit A4.
Okay, what just happened? Yeah, so as you can see, the main panel, so you can see the colors. It has the brand logo and a QR code. Just below that, the applicant is also proposing a digital panel, which would just be able to have a changeable message. This would be a static message. It wouldn't be something that would be changing or scrolling. They would just be able to throw up a message, whatever. It could be a greeting. It could be welcome. It could be, Happy Thanksgiving. It could be we're having a sale, or, their store hours, or any additional information that they feel might help, get people to the site easier.
Mr. Gallarano, and I should have asked this question to Mr. Patel, but in our preparation, Mr. Patel advised that the CRC, the State Cannabis Regulatory Commission, restricts certain messaging on that, and the applicant's not proposing to advertise any product or any kind of prohibited messaging. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, correct. I'm not 100% familiar, but I think things like pricing, like sale, like you can't say like there's going to be a 20% off or something like that. I think you can say that, yeah, there's a spring sale going on, but there's restrictions to what you can actually put up on the sign as far as information.
So to your understanding, it would be QSR, or it would be hours of operation,
Right.
or the general messaging that you've identified?
Yeah, just general type messaging.
I think for the record too, Mr. Paparo, and not to cut you off, Mr. Gallareno, the town also has certain standards expected for digital signs, so there will obviously be expected to be maintained as well.
Agreed. Understood.
Both, I think some of it as to the illumination and/or timing for the messaging.
Right, no animation or flashing or scrolling or things like that, so it's got to be a static message. However, the second signboard, the smaller digital signboard, does trigger two additional variances. The signboard is 15 square feet, so that increases the total square footage to 65, exceeds the 50, so that generates an additional C variance required. The height to the bottom of the sign, it's got the requirement is 15-foot minimum, and this would only be 10.5 feet, so that generates an additional C variance. So in all total, we have the C variance for the second sign, C variance for the total square footage, and then C variance for the height to the underside of the sign.
Mr. Gallarano, I just want to stay on that last variance, the clearance, what I call clearance from the ground to the bottom of the digital panel. My understanding of the reasoning behind that code provision is to ensure that there's adequate site visibility, correct?
Correct.
And when you and your firm were finding a location for this proposed sign, did you take into consideration visibility of drivers and obstructions?
I did. Hearing feedback from my client, and I also went out there and did drive this several times. And I do have some additional exhibits that kind of demonstrate why the sign was placed and kind of the rationale for why it was placed, why they want another sign to the westerly part of the site.
And while you're bringing up that exhibit, did you locate the sign so that it would not have any obstructions of visibility?
Correct. So this is a street view, again, taken from Google. I've driven it several times. I didn't attempt to try to take a picture.
Let's
Well,
mark this
yeah.
A5. This is a Google Street
The
View
Google
image.
Street View, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you said you drove this several times as the observer. Does this accurately reflect what
Yes.
you observed?
Yeah, this is what you would see if you were driving. Again, I didn't, for safety reasons, I didn't attempt to try to take a picture while I was driving. But this shot would be right about in front of the Burger King, right? This is the Burger King driveway here. So you would be, if you were driving down Route 22, you would be positioned right about in front of the Burger King. As you can see, the visibility, you're not really seeing much, right? That sign isn't really coming into view. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There's actually a utility pole that actually kind of blocks the existing sign right now.
This is all one sign that one photo that we're looking at, or?
Yeah, it's one photo. I'm
All
just
right,
trying
so
to-
we'll call it A4 for the record, just so I keep a handle on what we're looking at.
A5.
Oh, A5.
Yeah,
It was A4, I missed A4, I'm sorry.
A4 was the colored rendering of the sign.
Okay, I missed that.
So what they're finding is that people are, as customers are saying they're not seeing it fast enough. And that sign's only about 100 feet to the entrance. So, traveling 40, 50 miles an hour, by the time you see the sign, you only have a very short reaction time to navigate into the driveway. As everybody knows on Route 22, you miss where you're going, or you miss your turn on Route 22. It's a challenge to turn around. You have to make a U-turn through the center island. You're in the right lane. You have to cut to the left lane. Then when you come back the other way and you make the turn, now you're in the left lane. You got to cut to the right lane. So there was a desire on their part, or they would be beneficial to be able to have drivers have a little more reaction time. So this is also a street view.
Let's mark this second one A6. This is a second Google Street View.
A6, second street view. And as you can see, you got to be pretty close up before you can really read that sign. Like you're almost on top of it, and now you're pretty close to the driveway. So the idea of moving the sign, of having a second sign moved further to the west is just going to give more reaction time to be able to navigate into the driveway. So we're really considering it. I mean, part of this is a safety concern. Just to be able to give drivers more time, not having them to try to jam their brakes on if they think they're missing the turn. So we just think it's going to be a safer situation with the additional sign. So with that, just looking at the planning aspects, I mean that's the rationale for the placement of the sign. There's also some additional reasons why the applicant, we think the applicant, the sign is justified for the applicant. I mean, when we first looked at the negative criteria, when we look at the legal proofs of the variance, Route 22 is a heavy commercial corridor. There's numerous signs up and down Route 22. There are some other sites. I mean, not that I want to, point to them, but it's not unusual for some of these strip malls to have multiple freestanding signs. Just to give you an example, the Verizon actually has two freestanding signs on each side, two on the eastbound, two on the westbound. The DXL store has two signs, again, on each side, two on the eastbound, two on the westbound. The building with the City MD and the Smash Burger, they actually have 7 freestanding signs total, 3 on the eastbound, 4 on the westbound. And then there's the Golden Crust Restaurant, which has 2 signs on the eastbound. There's actually 2 tenants in that building. Each has their own freestanding sign. So it's not unusual to see a strip mall on Route 22 with multiple signs. We also looked at the positive criteria and, where this would fall under the purpose of zoning. I think under paragraph A, which is to encourage municipal action, guide the appropriate use or development of all lands in the state in a manner which will promote public health, safety, and morals and general welfare. And then lastly, we looked at the master plan just to see, how this fits into the master plan. The master plan recognizes, obviously, Route 22 is a heavy commercial corridor. One of the goals of the master plan is to avoid undesirable non-residential uses on Route 22. Again, this is a permitted use. It's already been approved. So I think the use itself is something that is encouraged and permitted under the master plan. The master plan really I didn't see anything that was very specific to signs as to making recommendations to signs along Route 22. I think that one of the things it does mention is the economic development, supporting retail businesses, not just on Route 22, but throughout the township. And it is somewhat customary. I did look at other dispensaries, and some of them, or most of them, do have signs that are much larger. Just specifically, I think the applicant mentioned the ARY sign, and I do have a shot of that.
Let's mark this photo as A7. This is a photo of AYR.
AYR, again, taken from street view, but again, from driving up and down, again, this is what is represented this does represent what is out on the site. So as you can see, this is pretty much a very similar sign to what the applicant is looking to do. There's the main sign panel on top, which has the brand, and then below that is a second panel which has some information. It has they particularly have their hours. They have the QR code, but again, much larger, much more visible to what the Boterra currently has now at the existing facility. There's also the Best Buds, which I don't believe is open yet. I think that they're just they're fitting out, and I think they're pretty much ready to open, but they're not quite open yet. Again, you can see it's a much larger sign, much more visible. They just have one panel. They have their brand and their logo and their colors. But I think that these larger signs really help promote the business. They help the retailer. Just in general, what we're seeing, retail in general is struggling with, home shopping, online shopping, retail in general is having challenges. So, I think, again, looking at the master plan, they do say they do look to encourage to help promote and help businesses, thrive within the township. So just, in conclusion, I think that the benefits outweigh any detriments. I think the special reasons exist for the granting of variances, and I don't see this having any negative impact on the surrounding area.
Mr. Geller, just a few follow-ups. Your firm in locating this, again, you took into consideration safety and site visibility, and is it your professional opinion by having a sign closer to the westbound to the site that it would be more visible, give better identification before the customers pass the location? Correct.
And just better, just a little bit longer reaction time for a driver to be able to get, to find it and get into the driveway without either passing it or without trying to, do something stupid and jam their brakes on, cut somebody off, or, I miss a turn. I tend to go up and make the U-turn. Some people, will try to, they'll jam their brakes on not to try to miss it. So I think it will enhance the safety. Besides helping the retailer, just from an economic development standpoint, I think it's also going to add a safety feature to this operation.
Mr. Galleron, you received the reports from the township engineer as well as the police and fire, correct?
I did.
And those reports, the police, no comment, the fire department, no comment or issue
No.
with this application, and Colliers, the engineer, did not cite any visibility or safety issues, correct?
No, not at all. Colliers, their letter would seem to be more factual than recommendations.
No issues raised with the proposed sign.
Correct.
Chairman, I have nothing further on direct for Mr. Gallerano.
Are there any board members that would like to question Mr. Gallerano?
Just have one question.
Mr. McNeil?
Concerning the foundation for the sign. It looks like they're concrete cylinders that this is going to be mounted on. Do you see any concern on breakaway if a vehicle was to hit that mass?
Something we could definitely look into, sure. That could be done.
Well, I do note, this is Rob Pansul, the board attorney, the Colliers report referenced by Mr. Prepara, it's dated August 18th, and I agree it doesn't necessarily have a lot of directive or response to the application technically, but one thing I note is the request, it's number 2, Mr. Prepara, or 4.2, of a pre-construction meeting. That meeting would have professionals from the township as well as the applicant. I think what I'd like to reference there as well, because it's not in this report, and that's why I missed Exhibit A4. I was asking Mr. Manguso. I'm not sure if DOT needs to weigh in on this because of the Route 22 factor, but I'd like to try to get, I'm not going to make you come back for that, but at that meeting perhaps we can make sure that everybody's on the same page because it's Route 22, and it's really in line with what Mr. McNeil said, that if there is a suggestion that might come from DOT to have a sign like that installed. So if the board acts favorably and you're in agreement, Colliers has it as a recommended pre-construction meeting. I think that makes a lot of sense
Yeah, no objection.
under the circumstances.
Understood.
They reference police, fire, not only for this application, but that's ongoing. You know, because we said it 2 years ago, I guess it was, that it's a newer use. So any condition that we had from 2023, I'll just state for the record, remains in full force and effect, subject to any adjustments here tonight. So unless specifically adjusted, we're always going to refer back to that original resolution of approval.
Agreed.
Okay.
No objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Mr. Graves?
Did you guys consider freestanding signs solving the same issues of cars driving by at a quick pace?
What do you mean as far as?
You
like-
said like Verizon and some of the other stores have freestanding signs. So that indicates to people who are driving down 22, there is a business there. Did you consider just having freestanding signs rather than going for a variance?
Well, I think we would need, that's basically what we're requesting the variance for, because because we're adding the second freestanding sign, we have to come here for the variance. Because there is one there now, but the problem there now is there's just one sign on a signboard with other tenants, and I was pointing out, as you're approaching, it's very hard to see that's their particular panel on the signboard.
Do you want to put the rendering of the proposed sign back up?
Yeah, sure.
I noted too, Mr. Preparo, A8, I was paying attention later of the additional area competitor sign, just so we have it as part of the record.
Yep, thank you. And what you're displaying is Exhibit A4, which is the rendered version of the proposed sign, correct?
Yeah. So this is considered a freestanding sign. Sometimes they're called pylon signs, but it's, well, why that keeps popping up. But, yeah, so we can't put this up without the variance because we're adding the second sign. So that's why we're here.
Any other board members?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I have a quick question for you, Mr. Guy. Is this sign going to be powered up 24 hours or just during business hours? You know, I mean, being that it's digital, I mean, what is it going to be on all night? Are we just going to have it on just during business hours of the operation?
Maybe we want to bring the owner. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe the owner could. Yeah.
Yeah, we would just keep it on for business hours.
So it'll be shut off at nighttime?
Yes.
Okay, my concern is at nighttime, could be a distraction to the drivers, so that's why I'm asking you that.
Just the digital panel or both? Okay. Mr. Patel, there's no.
Yeah, there's no objection for the digital panel to be off.
Mr.
Thank you.
Patel, what are your hours of operation?
9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Monday through Saturday?
Correct.
Okay.
Or Sunday.
So the sign would be shut down at closing?
Yes, after 10 p.m.
Thank you. Any other board members with questions?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just to confirm, the top is going to have lights, the green part. That'll be a lighted up sign.
Correct.
Okay. And where is this QR taking us, this QR code?
To our website.
Okay. I just find it when somebody's driving, I don't know how they're going to, I mean, maybe if they're parked in front of the business, they could use the QR code, but driving, I find that's a little not safe. Thank you.
Any other board members with questions? Hearing none. Are there any members of the public that would like to question the testimony that Mr. Gallerano has provided this evening? Do you have a question, ma'am? Would you please come forward?
Good evening.
Would you please state your name, spell your name, and your address?
Alan Simmons, 531 Clubhouse Court, Unit 9, Union. My question is, why is the request to have a second sign as opposed to just having one sign? Because I noticed in the other renderings that there was the one freestanding sign, so it wasn't multiple signing other than on the actual structure itself.
Right, yeah, so, excuse me, yeah, so there is existing freestanding sign. As I was like pointing out, that sign is like more to the east. So, we're talking about the driver reaction time. Drivers are having trouble, they're not realizing it's there until they're right on top of it, which is giving them a very limited time to figure out how to get into the site. So, the second sign, pulling it more to the west, is going to give drivers a better reaction time. To find their way into the entrance. So it's really just a driver safety issue, visibility issue. Aside from what I mentioned earlier about just having the bigger sign, just to be, for the economic development standpoint.
And Mr. Gallerano, you referred to Exhibit A5 and A6, the Google Street Views, to support your position that the existing multi-tenant sign is, in your opinion, difficult to read. There's a utility pole that's in front of it, and again, there's a number of tenants that are condensed onto one panel, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but the existing sign would remain, and then there's an additional sign, and so
Correct.
I guess my question is more so now there's a precedence for multiple signs for dispensaries, and as was mentioned, there are a number of dispensaries up and down 22, so now we have groundwork for other businesses to say, well, competitive advantage, we need more signs too.
Yeah, well, again, as you know, with this board, every case has to come in and they stand on their own merit. So they'd have to come in and provide the same justification for their business. Cannabis is, again, it's obviously it's a newer business, right? It hasn't been around that long. It's becoming competitive. And, we were showing the signs of the other businesses. So they have a much larger sign. So their signs are more, their businesses are more visible, even though they're all within a close proximity. So, again, it's giving this retailer an opportunity just to make sure to give his business a chance for success.
Mr. Gallerano, I have a question for you. So the other two signs on the other businesses, they are not in a strip mall, where this is in a strip mall. They have their dedicated sign, correct?
Yeah, the other two cannabis do have, right, they're in their standalone.
Okay.
Yeah. that's
And
correct.
this one is in a building in an area where there's other tenants, and they're bound to a certain amount of square footage.
Correct, correct.
Are there any other members of the public that would like to come forward and question Mr. Gallerano's testimony? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to comment on this application? Hearing none. Counselor, would you like to sum up?
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Gallerano. I'll be very brief. I just wanted to thank everyone for their time and their comments. I think, as Mr. Gallerano identified, this new sign will provide the drivers with additional time to hit that one driveway, which is existing driveway located far to the east of the site. Mr. Gallerano has identified the safety improvements that will result both from the proposed freestanding sign and the new directional signs to better identify the driveways. The sign is modest in size, and again, the applicant has agreed to have the digital panel shut off after business hours to address the concerns that were raised. As Mr. Gallerano pointed out, this sign is very consistent with the other businesses in the area, and due to their location of the new sign, there will not be any negative visual impacts, according to Mr. Gallerano, or any visibility impediments. So for the reasons articulated by the planner, we would respectfully request the board approve the sign variances and allow this business to continue to flourish. Thank you very much.
Thank you. At this time, I believe we can conference this. Mr. McNeil, would you like to begin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, thanking the professionals for their testimony this evening. The application itself is relatively simple and straightforward. I do believe that the positive criteria in terms of the business growth will outweigh any negative criteria, and I do plan on voting in the positive.
Mr. Graves?
I see no substantial negative impact, so I'll be voting yes.
Mr. Wiley?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I agree with my colleagues. I see no, I think the positives outweigh all the negatives, and I think it's similar to the other signs in the area, so I'm going to vote yes as well.
Ms. Martins?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. After hearing the testimony this evening, this is definitely a positive impact for the site and hopefully positive for the business as well, so I will be voting yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also agree with my colleagues, and I also believe that it's going to be a big safety improvement, because when you drive by there, the exit is actually before the entrance, which is abnormal, not normal. And I also think that the new exit entrance signs are going to help, so I will also be voting yes.
And Mr. Bentavegna?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see no issue with this application, and I'll be voting yes tonight.
As for myself, I too see no problem with this application. The installation of the proposed sign will help to improve the applicant's business, so I too will vote yes for this application. At this time, can I have a motion to grant the application?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that the board grant the variance applicable to this application and that council is directed to prepare a resolution consistent with the board's decision.
Second motion?
Roll call.
Mr. Wiley?
Yes.
Ms. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Bentavagina?
Yes.
Mr. McNeil?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Graves? And Mr. Champy?
Yes.
September 17th, we'll put on the board's agenda for the passage of the resolution.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time and your consideration.
Mr. Chairman, there being no
Thank you.
further business coming before the board, I move that we adjourn.
Second motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?